The days following the storm were quiet at the Ward estate. The kind of quiet that carries weight, like the calm before a confession, or the silence between two people who feel something they can't yet name. Ethan tried to act normal. He practiced walking slower, feigning blindness, keeping his eyes unfocused. But every time Grace's voice reached him, his mask trembled. She was the only light in the darkness he had built for himself. And the longer he pretended, the heavier the darkness became. Scene 1: The vase. It was late morning. Grace was dusting the grand hallway, sunlight pouring through the windows in soft, golden streaks. Ethan came walking down the corridor, cane tapping lightly against the marble. Grace smiled as he approached. "Grace, good morning, Mr. Ward. How are you feeling today, Ethan?" "Better now that I hear your voice," she chuckled, setting down the vase she had been cleaning. "Grace, you always say things that make me forget I'm supposed to be working." As she turned, her elbow brushed the vase. It wobbled on the edge of the table. Instinct took over. Ethan reached forward and caught it before it fell. Grace froze. He realized instantly what he had done. His fingers gripping the vase tight. His breath caught in his throat. "Grace," softly, you caught it." He hesitated, heart pounding. Ethan forcing a shaky smile. "I heard it falling. Reflex, I suppose." Grace nodded slowly, but her eyes stayed on him. There was something searching, something questioning. For the first time, she wasn't just looking at him, she was seeing him. Scene 2: Margaret's dilemma. Later that afternoon, Margaret Ward sat in her private parlor, a letter half written before her. She'd watched her son grow more conflicted by the day. The deception that had started as curiosity had now grown into something sacred and dangerous. When Grace knocked softly on her door, Margaret quickly hid her pen. "Grace, forgive me, Mom. I wanted to thank you for letting me stay here. Truly, I don't take it for granted." Margaret gently. "You've brought warmth into this house, my dear. I should be thanking you." Grace smiled, but her eyes were clouded. "Grace, may I ask something strange?" Margaret: "Of course." Grace: "Has Mr. Ward always been blind?" Margaret's breath caught, just for a second, but Grace noticed. Margaret: "Why do you ask?" Grace: "It's just, sometimes he moves as if he can see. Like today, I dropped something, and he caught it before it fell." Margaret stood, turning toward the window to hide her expression. Margaret quietly: "Ethan has always had sharp instincts. Perhaps he simply reacts faster than most." Grace nodded slowly, though uncertainty lingered. As she left, Margaret pressed a hand to her heart. She knew the lie was collapsing, and she prayed silently that when it broke, it would break into grace, not ruin. Scene 3: Testing the blind man. That evening, Grace entered the library where Ethan often sat. He was in his usual chair, pretending to read Braille from a blank book, his latest prop. She lingered in the doorway. "Grace, Mr. Ward, may I ask you something honest?" Ethan: "Always." Grace: "Do you trust me?" Ethan without hesitation: "With my soul." Her chest tightened. Grace: "Then, can I test something?" He froze, unsure where this was going. Ethan: "Test what?" Grace: "Just stand for a moment." He rose slowly, pretending uncertainty as she walked around him. Quietly, she picked up a glass from the table and raised it toward him, then stopped halfway. He didn't flinch. She lowered it again, then suddenly dropped a small book. He reached to catch it. Grace: softly, "You saw that." The words were not angry, only filled with sadness. Ethan's throat went dry. Ethan: "Grace, it's not what you think." Grace: "Then what is it? Who are you really?" He took a step forward, hands trembling. Ethan: "The same man who offered you a job when you had nowhere to go. The same man who." Grace, cutting in, voice breaking: "The man who lied to me." Tears filled her eyes. Grace: "Why would you pretend to be blind? Was I just another game for a rich man's amusement?" Ethan pleading: "No, I swear it wasn't that. I wanted to know if someone could love me for who I am, not what I have. I wanted to see the truth of the heart, not the eyes." She shook her head, tears falling freely. Grace: "You didn't need to lie to see my heart. You only needed to trust it." Scene 4: The Prayer of Two Souls. Grace fled the room, her footsteps echoing down the marble hall. Ethan followed, but she didn't turn back. He stopped halfway down the stairs, breath trembling, guilt tearing through him like a storm. In her small room, Grace collapsed to her knees. Grace, sobbing, Lord, why? Why would you let me believe something that wasn't real? And in another room, Ethan knelt too, his hands shaking, his voice breaking. Ethan, God, I thought I was testing her heart, but it was mine that was blind. Forgive me. Please, forgive me. The same prayer, two broken hearts speaking to the same heaven. Outside, thunder rolled again, softer this time, not anger, but mercy. Scene 5. A mother's touch. Margaret entered Ethan's study quietly. He sat in the dark, his face buried in his hands. Margaret, she knows. Ethan hoarse. I've lost her. Margaret, no, my son. You've just lost the lie. She came closer, placing her hand on his shoulder. Margaret, if you want her heart, now's the time to show her yours. Not the one the world sees, the one only God does. Ethan looked up, eyes red, voice trembling. Ethan, how do I tell her? Margaret, the truth. Ethan, with nothing to hide behind. Love doesn't need perfect vision, only perfect honesty. Closing scene. The storm breaks. That night, the sky cleared. Stars emerged, faint and scattered, like hope returning after a long rain. Grace sat by her window, watching the heavens shimmer. Somewhere deep down, her anger softened into ache. She whispered, almost to herself, Grace, if his heart is truly sorry, Lord, help me forgive him. And across the house, Ethan whispered the same words through his tears. Ethan, if she can forgive me, Lord, help me deserve it. Two prayers, one of forgiveness, one of redemption rising together into the same starlit sky.